What's up, guys? We do have the official news on AVT that it is confirmed. It's a torn tricep. It's the other tricep besides the other one that he tore, I guess, like a compensation injury type of thing. And he is going to be put on season-ending IR. So he will miss the entire season. Now, obviously, that does open up another roster spot. In terms of what the Jets are going to do to fill that, yeah, there's some guys who've played in this league. There's John Feliciano, Brandon Scherf out there, guys like, close to their mid-30s who have played in this league. But if I have to guess, the Jets are probably just going to elevate somebody like Marquise Hayes, who had made the initial 53, if you remember, had a pretty strong last couple of games of the preseason, or Cole Laveo. And I get it. When you look at some of those veterans, you always think, well, he's got to be better than the practice squad guy. And sometimes, man, if you remember with Ryan Khalil, like when you bring a guy off the couch who's 34, who didn't have a training camp, sometimes they're not really that much better than practice squad guys. Like when you're done, you might just be kind of done. So I think that's what the Jets are going to do for now. Obviously, all indications are that Myers will move to center and Tippmann will move to the guard. The Jets seem to be prepared for that to be their first, domino move if there was an injury on the offensive line. How does it impact the season? I think it could tilt a game. I think it could be like a 0.5 game difference in the spread. It was a half a point difference in the Pittsburgh spread. Now the Jets are 3-point underdogs as opposed to 2.5, which actually is significant. There's not a lot of players. The Jets probably have maybe 12 guys or so who would even move the line at all. So it could tip a game. Now, in terms of me as a fan, what my hope is for the season is finding out if you have a coaching staff. Does it prohibit you from being able to do that? No. It's a good test for Coach Hayden, because in previous years we've seen AVT go down and the Jets could not run the ball. AVT in his career, when he goes down, the Jets' yards per carry is almost like it's like a third of a yard less per carry, which obviously is very significant over the course of a whole season. So Myers steps in at center. I think the pass pro from Tippmann to Myers is a slight downgrade, but not too devastating. AVT to Tippmann at right guard is a downgrade, but not too devastating. But at the end of the day, the math is AVT out, Myers in. It's just a massive talent downgrade. I don't want to be disrespectful to AVT and pretend like it makes no difference. But I think the biggest bummer about it, besides just AVT being a captain and hoping that maybe he could be healthy again and re-signed long-term, now that's probably kind of done. He's now just a guy who's going to have to sign like a 1-year prove-it deal with the Jets or somewhere else. But now, you had that break glass in case of emergency Myers move if there was an injury during the season. You could bring in Myers. You could put AVT to tackle if there's an injury at tackle. Myers in, Tippmann to guard. Myers was kind of your sixth man. And now before you even play a game, your sixth man is your starter, right? So you're already one more domino towards that Max Mitchell season that we see every year at Thanksgiving. So that, I think, is kind of what's more of a bummer about it. But it's next man up, man. It sucks. It happened to Rashawn Slater. It happens to teams all the time. Might flip a game, but and I think if you were looking to this team, I've made videos before, like there's no bad teams with good offensive lines, and AVT was a big factor into that. Like I think if we were being optimistic that this team could somehow compete for a wild card, having a really damn good offensive line was a part of that formula, and having AVT for another 15 games like we had last year was part of the formula to the formula, right? So I just don't want to pretend like it's no big deal, but in terms of the grand scheme of finding out if we have a coaching staff, I don't think it's going to prohibit the Jets from being able to find that out. And we'll talk all soon.